Hello, everybody. It's so good to see so many people on here today. I am sorry for being late. I am so sorry. I was looking at a deal and time got away from me. So today we're going to be talking about. Um, I'm actually going to. Okay, we are good to rock and roll now. I am so sorry for the delay. I was looking at houses. That is what I do for a living. I buy houses. So if you're ever interested in selling a house, please give me a call. But today we're going to be talking about AI and its impact on real estate. How is AI impacting real estate? And I'm so glad that everybody's with me today to join me. I'm so sorry that I was late, but I'm super excited about today's topic. And let's dive right into it. So everybody knows about the AI stuff that's going on, right? A lot of people are saying that it's going to change a lot of different things. A lot of people are saying it's going to uh, get rid of a lot of jobs, right? A lot of people are scared. Some people are excited. But depending on where you're at, it's definitely happening, right? So instead of being scared, if you are one of those people that is scared, I would recommend getting to know it rather than hiding from it. Nothing ever good comes from burying your head in the sand, right? So, um, I wanted to make this live basically to go over the different things, the different tools that we're using today that are helping us convert leads, that are helping us with residents, that are helping us with customer service, how we're using AI today, and how we plan to use AI in the future. Because it is one of those tools that is going to change a lot of different things. I believe you're going to start seeing billion-dollar companies with four people, right? So you're going to have billion-dollar companies, and there's going to be three, maybe five people running the company. That is going to happen in the future. Hopefully, we're the first billion-dollar four-person company. That's what we're going for. So we're at the cutting edge of AI. We leverage this technology and use this technology every single day. In the systems and software that we have, there are AI integrations that allow for automations, whether you're trying to talk to a potential resident, whether somebody is looking to clean or get their house cleaned and they filled out a form online and now an AI bot is chatting with them and telling them about your service, or whether it's a guide that knows everything about you and is able to help give you advice. All these different things are coming. There's going to be so many different use cases to AI and agents, and it's all because of the recent unlock we had with LLMs, right? So AI has been around for the last 80 years or 60 years at least. And people have been working on it. People have been obsessing over it for years. Um, the AI that we recently saw were large language models. So they trained a bunch of data on, they took all the data from the internet basically, and they took it and they compressed it. They compressed it down to little bits. And now they're doing reinforcement learning on top of that trained data to be able to deliver a good result. So you've seen the stock market rip. You've seen Nvidia go crazy. You've seen a lot of the AI companies prop up the stock market lately. That's because so much money is being poured into AI and building out the infrastructure for AI. So, in order to build AI, in order to have efficient computing systems, you can't use your typical silicone chip, right? You can't use a small little chip. These AI chips are massive. The G100. I'm not sure what Nvidia's major chip is right now, but it's literally like, major warehouses full of massive computers that all interconnect, and this allows for better AI. I'm not a technologist. I'm just somebody that uses it. So I'm letting them build it, and I'm using it. I just know how to make it work, right? I know how to integrate it, and that's all I need to know. I don't need to know everything about a computer to be able to utilize a computer, right? I don't need to know everything to be able to do something. Really, the only way to know everything is to work at that thing 40 to 60 hours a week every day of your life. And that's how you become the best at something. So I'm probably not going to become the best at AI, right? I'm not going to be an AI engineer or anything like that. But what I am going to do is utilize the tools that the AI engineers build to enhance my business. Because oftentimes it's not the people that put out the tools themselves, it's the people that utilize the tools that make the most money or become the most successful. So think of, look at Mr. Beast on YouTube. He's utilizing that platform and he's growing massively. There's several examples of this where the person that invents technology isn't the one that necessarily benefits the most from it. It's usually people that come along and use it and build on top of it. So we're getting ready to build on top of the AI systems. They're getting really, really good. They're improving all the time. I use them every single day. So I've watched it. I've been using ChatGPT since uh, GPT-3 came out. When they first announced GPT-3, I was I was working and I'm like, wow, I need to I was all about it that day. Like I obsessed over it. Since then, I've obsessed over AI since ChatGPT came out, like the day it came out. I was one of those first subscribers because I know it's going to be a major tool. So anyway, like I was saying, the stock market is being propped up by AI investment because you need massive capex spend. So you have to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars to buy these GPUs from Nvidia right now. Nvidia is selling all of them. They have a monopoly right now because while everyone was trying to make chips smaller and smaller and smaller, Nvidia was building bigger chips because they saw the power that this could unleash, and now it's here. So Nvidia is benefiting from it majorly. That's why you've seen them turn into $1 trillion company in what seems overnight. But really, Jensen Hogg has been working on this problem for a long, long time. And a lot of people were telling him that he shouldn't be. And now he's right. Um, so all these companies, Meta, Amazon, um, all of them, any company with a decent amount of cash right now is taking that cash and buying these GPUs and building out data facilities. A good example of that is going to be the recent. It's in our market, so I want to use this one as a good example of practical. We're seeing it happen right now. The AI investment, and I am going to go into the tools and how we're using it, but I want to just highlight what this is. I think there's a lot of overhype maybe from AI, but at the same time, there's not. I don't know. It depends on who you are. It's not going to do everything, right? But it is going to do a lot. And I'm going to show you some of the things that it can do now and some of the things that it's definitely going to be able to do in the future. So Amazon, all these companies are spending so much money on building out these data centers because you need massive data centers. Basically, all your cloud software, all that stuff, you're going to have AI integrated into it, is what I suspect. And so Amazon Web Services is building out AI to connect with their Amazon Web Services. A good example of this is in Berwick, Pennsylvania. They just recently purchased a 1,200 acres for $650 million. So Amazon this is just my first example that I wanted to go over. So Amazon, this is the type of spend. These companies have budgets. They have hundreds of billions of dollars, more money than countries, right? Way more money than a lot of countries. And when you have that much money, you can't just sit on the money. You have to invest it. So when this AI stuff first came out, a lot of people were calling for a pause and stuff like that. And if you look back on my reels, I'm like, this is why that will never happen. Why AI is not going to pause. Because one, it's going to raise productivity. And two, it's the craze right now. And people have a bunch of money to spend on it. So you're seeing people dump tons of money into this. This was just recently purchased in Berwick, Pennsylvania. So Amazon spent $650 million they bought all this land around these nuclear reactors so that they could build out data centers and tap right into this energy. So um, there's massive investment going on into building out these data centers. $650 million is not a small number, and that's nothing compared to what's being invested as a whole, right? So we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars being poured into this technology. It's not like it's just gonna, like, you don't put hundreds of billions of dollars into something and get nothing. So AI is definitely going to change things, but is it going to like completely make everyone unemployed and all that stuff? Probably not. So how am I using this today? Let's get into that. So I do want to real quick. So I think this is going to benefit Pennsylvania the most, this AI revolution, because when you're building out a data center, you want the data center to be in cooler climate, because one of the most expensive things to do with the data center is cool it, keep it cool, right? It requires a lot of energy to keep the data center cool, as well as run the data center. So energy is a big expense, and cooling it. So Pennsylvania has the largest Marcellus shale reserve in the country, and there's tons of natural gas, right? Cheap natural gas, and there's tons of land, and there's, I think, like 33% of our energy is nuclear, and then like over half of it is natural gas, and um, some coal, all that. I would imagine that we see more of these data centers be built out here because the climate is conducive for that, and it's cheaper, and energy's cheaper, land's cheaper, regulations are better, all that stuff. So I'm super bullish on Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania is going to benefit like the most, and the Rust Belt is probably going to benefit the most from this stuff. So everybody knows about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is OpenAI software that they released. I don't know. It's been around for a little while. So ChatGPT has been around for a while, but they have done different iterations of it. So if you don't know what ChatGPT is, um, I'm not sure where you've been. But if you don't know what ChatGPT is, I'll explain to you what it is. So if you go to chat.openai.com, it'll pull up this page. You'll create an account through OpenAI. So OpenAI is the company that had this massive breakthrough in large language models. I think the first 5 days of them putting out this product, they had 100 million users sign up, which is like more than Netflix, Instagram, Facebook, all these tech companies. This is like the most amount of users signed up in the least amount of time ever for any tech company. So this is ChatGPT. And it started out with GPT 1, 2, 3. Now we're up to 4.0. So I started using this when it was 3. Now we're at 4.0. And let me just make an example. So what should be a good question that I should ask? So you can see like how much I use this, right? So I can make my own GPTs here, and I can import data. So let me just show you this real quick, because this is really big. So if you're doing research or something, even this ChatGPT tool, I believe there is a free version of this. You can create your own GPT. So what does that mean? Okay, this is what creating your own GPT means. So I can basically take like the large language model that's trained over all the internet, and then I could narrow it down even more into what I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for a GPT that is really versed at law and knows real estate law a lot, I would say, help me create, or no, I would just say create a GPT that knows the law, knows Pennsylvania law inside and out. So this is one great way to utilize ChatGPT, is make it like a research assistant. For me, like ChatGPT is one of the first things that I pull up when I sit down on my computer to be able to help with research, be able to help with rewriting emails, be able to help with all that different type of stuff. So this just said, I said, create me a GPT that knows Pennsylvania law really well. And it said, okay, how about Keystone Legal Expert? Okay, sounds good. So it's going to be named Keystone Legal Expert. And another thing I could do is I could go in and I could download literally like as many laws as I want in as PDFs. Especially if I'm like digging in a certain bill or something, and I can go over to configure and I can upload those files. So I can turn on code interpreter. Let me just remove my head here. Um, so I can remove. I check code interpreter and I can upload files. So I can upload a PDF or anything that I want to, um, so that it pulls data from that. And so like right here, this GPT is an expert in Pennsylvania law. Da, 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 da. So it's focusing on the law of Pennsylvania. So it's not just taking generalized information from the internet now. It's only taking like for law. And if I wanted to get it even more on point, I could upload files that are basically a repository for it to base its decision making and prompting off of. So now I can ask it like, what is the impact of SB 1173 on real estate in Pennsylvania? So it's coming up with an answer right now for that. Senate Bill 1173 recently signed into law as Act 52 of 2024 significantly impacts the real estate industry in Pennsylvania by regulating the practice of residential wholesaling. So yeah, it got it. It nailed it. It was exactly what it's supposed to be. So we can ask this now. Is this unconstitutional? And it'll give us its interpretation on that. So Senate Bill 117T regulates wholesaling in Pennsylvania by requiring individuals engaging in wholesaling transactions to hold a real estate license and mandating certain disclosures and consumer protections. The question of whether this law is unconstitutional involves several legal considerations and potential challenges, which I will outline below. Potential constitutional issues: regulation of commerce, state authority. States generally have the authority to regulate commerce within their borders, especially concerning real estate transactions. This falls under the state's police powers to protect public health, safety, and welfare. Then it provides me a link. Interstate Commerce Clause. If a law affects interstate commerce, it could be challenged under the Commerce Clause of the U.S. Constitution. However, because real estate transactions are typically interstate, the law is likely to be seen as a valid exercise of state power. Procedural due process. The law must provide fair procedures, such as the right to cancel and refund provisions, to ensure that individuals are not deprived of property without adequate legal safeguards. Substantive due process. The law must not be arbitrary or unreasonable. Requiring a license for wholesalers is likely to be seen as a rational measure to protect consumers from fraud and ensure market integrity. I would agree with that. First Amendment concerns. Licensing requirements and mandated disclosures may raise First Amendment. Okay, so if you're mandating disclosure, that could be against your First Amendment rights, is what ChatGPT is saying. So, likelihood of being upheld. It even speculates on the likelihood of being upheld. Laws passed by a state legislature are generally presumed to be constitutional unless proven otherwise. Courts tend to defer to the legislature's judgment, especially in areas concerning consumer protection and professional regulation. Rational basis review. This law is likely subject to rational basis review, the most lenient form of judicial review, which requires that the law be rationally related to a legitimate government interest. Ensuring transparency and protecting consumers from fraud are valid interests. So the justification from SB 1173 is that it's protecting consumers from fraud. And ChatGPT just nailed it. So this works as a great research assistant. As you can see here, I have a bunch of different ChatGPTs made. So I have a property manager ChatGPT. So like I have my standard operation procedure uploaded into this chat GPT, and I could say like, what are the minimum requirements to rent unit 5? So credit score of 600 or above is required. Employment, stable employment for at least 6 months. No history of violent crimes or property vandalism. Copy of valid ID for identity verification. No history of evictions. Proof of income. Security deposit. Application fee. Banking. Yep, this is everything. Mac Studio. Oh, look, it literally knew. Look at this. I said unit 5. It said studios are limited to one person. So it knew that it was a studio. Unit 5 is a studio. So I have my SOP logged in here, and I could go in here, and if a tenant had a question, right, I could, if they just asked this ChatGPT, they would get the right answer because my SOP is uploaded into it. So anytime somebody calls me or a resident calls me about a question, I'm usually saying, okay, let me look at our policy and let me look at your lease. So literally, I'd be doing the same thing that ChatGPT is doing right now in the example that I just showed you. That's what I'm doing right now. So that's going to be gone, and I'll show you what we're currently doing. Like it's currently doing this today. So I'm going to show you if we go to app.osmenic.com. This is our software, and this is our app, and this is going to be. I don't want to show any private information here. So one moment. So I was just recently setting up a pre-qualification form, and um, I am able to, once somebody fills out a form, I'm able to set up automations to be able to field that inquiry without actually being there, and that's through AI, right? So I have ChatGPT here, which is a great tool. There's Gemini. There's all these different ones. There's a bunch of different ones. Llama. Meta just came out with an open source one where you could take their base model and build on top of it. All this different type of stuff. I can also ask this thing to generate images of property management. Oh, this is bad. So if I'm doing research, if I have an SOP, I can upload it into this, and it'll automatically pull that from the repository and answer the question correctly based on the documents that I provided. And I just showed you how we do that. And then if I needed to create an image, like this will also create an image. If I need like my logo, this is where it comes from. Or even like for the basis of a logo. So create a logo for the property management. So this is a great tool for content, right? It's a great tool, and it's only getting better. And it's also a good tool for operations and customer service. Okay, great. So I showed you image generation. I showed you creating your own chat GPT, which I feel like, we haven't even gotten anything yet because you should know all these things, right? You should be using these tools. But what you probably haven't done is like gone beyond this, right? So that's what I'm going to show you now. So if we go over to the CRM, so I just recently uh, transferred everything over to the CRM from our previous CRM. A CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. And so you can see here that I have different automations. So on my CRM, if I go to, so I'm at app.osmenic.com. And if I go to my automations category, I can create a content AI. So I can create different Like I can upload a repository to the system and the AI, and I can train my own conversational AI that will then kickstart during a automation. So I'm sorry, this is kind of like higher level, but this is a really good example of how these tools are going to impact the economy immediately. So 2024 workflows. I don't know if I have anything for that yet. Rentals. So pre-qualification with qualified filter. All right. So this is a form. So if you're interested in renting a unit, um, you will fill out. So you'll go to osminic.com. So I will send, if somebody is inquiring about a unit, I will send them a link, right? So I don't even read the message. I just send the link, and this is what I send. So whenever somebody says, "Hey, is this unit available? I'm interested in this unit," I say, "This is available immediately." See there. Say we require 600 credit score, and then at the bottom there, I have a link to the web page that I'm currently on. So if you look at this, somebody messages me, I send them this link. I copy and paste this from my notes on my phone. And so right now the problem is, well, now you might say like, Jake, why don't you just have AI handle that too? You're so big on AI. Well, the reason that I can't have AI answer my Facebook messages, my Zillow messages, my Trillium messages, all the listing platforms messages is because they don't allow it to happen. They don't allow API access into their messaging platform. So, like an API is a programmable interface, like an application programmable interface where you can link different programs together. And like Zillow Rental Manager doesn't allow you to API into that. So, anyway, this is just an example of how I'm using it to manage rental properties. We also use it to um, do deals. We also do it for sales. So I send this message if somebody inquires about a unit, they get this, they hit that link, and they are brought to this page, right? So once they're brought to this page, and also I don't have to have a website to do this. I could just send them that link. I could just send them the form. Let me show you that real fast. So in my CRM, I'm able to build different forms. So this is the pre-qualification one that's on the site. But let's say I didn't have a website and I had a resident that wanted to rent from me, I could just send them this form. So I could hit integrate, and then I could hit copy form link, and I could just send them that form. So I don't need to have a website, but I do have a website in this case. So we will use that example. So I send that link. They come here. They're interested in an apartment. Okay, pre-qualify now. Bam. So I'm gonna fill this out real fast. And I'm going to show you one of the automations that we have set up. Let me just delete my contact out of here so that it does it correctly. Bam, bam. Okay, so I'm about to show you one of our automations for people that are interested in an apartment. And this is how we make the most use of our time and are efficient, right? Um, so I'm going to fill out this form here. I just want to show you my phone because it's going to send me a text as well. So let me just show you this. So I have no notifications right now, 7:20. I'm going to fill out this form, and this is the pre-qualification form. So as you can see here, I have different required fields and non-required fields. So the required fields are obviously required, right? Move-in date, say the second. Unit number or location, Bloomsburg. Gross approximate income, $3,000 a month. Credit score, 700. Criminal history, no. I consent to receive SMS messages, etc. So this is one of the things this is one of the ways that we use automations and AI to make our business more efficient today. So I'm going to submit that. Bam. Thank you for taking your time to submit this form. Now, if I go into my CRM, bam, so Jake Arnold is now here. And Jake Arnold, I've got the name, I've got the email, I got the phone number, contact source, pre-qualification for Millville Road Apartments. And then I have a criminal history, no, gross monthly income, credit score, move-in date. So I have all the information that he filled out on the form here. And because he had a 600 credit score or higher, and because he had a gross monthly income of $2,000 or higher, it sent him this text. So as you see here, I just got a text message. So I just got a text message from this phone number. It is not a spam number. Bam. So I'm going to pull this up. It says, "Hey, Jake." Crap. Sorry. So it says, "Hey, Jake. Thank you for filling out the pre-qualification form. It looks like you qualify based on the information provided. The next step is booking a showing. We could either schedule something with a property manager or we have a self-guided option. Da, 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 da. So within this text message, I say, if you're interested in a self-guided showing, click here to this link and book it. So right here, as soon as they click that link, it brings them to a calendar and they are able to book depending on the time that's available. And this will go right in my calendar. I'll get a notification and I will send them the code from there. Now, if I put that my credit score was under 600, it would have sent me a different message. It would have said, "I'm sorry, Jake, but unfortunately you do not qualify for this unit. Would you be interested in putting down an additional deposit or having somebody co-sign?" But because my income was good enough and because my credit score was high enough, it started this automation and sent this text message to me. So, and then it also added a bunch of tasks for me, which I got notifications to my phone to complete. Now let me show you the next step of this, right? So I don't have this built out on this CRM yet, but one of the things that we can do is we can take so I'm just going to create something from scratch. So I can create a workflow. I can select a recipe. Let me see here. There we go. Let me just look for a good one. I'll do the Facebook comments AI. So I could have an AI bot that's like chatting with you. If you comment, then like it automatically sends you a DM, stuff like that. So trigger one would be Facebook comment on a post. Page is, and it would be like what page it is on the post. Post type is whatever post we have. Post is, right? So depending on what post you have, what are your responses? So this is pulling off of GPT-4 Turbo. So this is the prompt. So we're prompting ChatGPT and we're saying, hey, we got a comment, expect this type of behavior and expect to give this type of response. And we can set the temperature so we can set like how accurate, how creative it gets. And then bam, it'll respond, right? So it's APIing right from ChatGPT. ChatGPT is generating the text based off of the prompt and then replying. And it's analyzing the comment sentiment. So it's determining how it should reply. And if the condition is positive, it should reply this way. If the condition is negative, it should reply this way. So if the comment is positive, it will take this branch and it'll be a positive Facebook message or comment interaction. So and I could build this out forever. I could build this out so that it just repeats and it's just talking to you. Um, Everybody, all these companies that I was talking about in the beginning of this episode are trying to develop these agents. So you're going to have agents. Like it's going to be a thing where you have an agent that basically fields all the inquiries, if answers the phone, all that type of stuff. Elon Musk right now is talking about how Optimus is going to sell 10 billion units at $20,000 a pop, and this could be $200 trillion. That's what he says. This is what Elon's saying. Um, he's saying that because Tesla has all this camera data, they are able to build robotics better than anybody else. They're basically a robotics company. And they're saying that they're going to be able to basically do everything a factory could do for a $30,000 robot within 5 years. That's what they're claiming right now. So the first steps of this are agents that replace a lot of knowledge work, that replace a lot of answering the phone, replace a lot of the inquiries that I just showed you. I literally just did a breakdown of how we're using it today with our rentals. And we don't even have it set up all the way to the nines. But we could have it where it's APIing into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is taking the text and it's prompting ChatGPT, and we're prompting ChatGPT and saying like respond positive based off of this, and then it's responding. It's having a conversation with the person. So I wanted to highlight some of those things. I wanted to show you what ChatGPT is, and ChatGPT is just one of these tools. There's so many of them. It's one of the better ones for sure. They're at like the top of the stack right now. Gemini is another one. That's Google's version. Everybody's going to have their version. Meta has their own version, Llama, and they just came out with a new version that's completely open source. So you can take their LLM and you can build on top of it whatever software you want. So the reason they're doing that is so that because they're behind OpenAI and they're trying to catch up. And so when you open source something, you have the whole world working on it. It's just like it gets so much better, so much faster because you have so much more manpower, and it's so much cheaper because you don't have to pay the engineers to actually do it. People are just doing it. But where the money is really going to come from is like these agents that you're basically hiring an AI agent from Facebook in the future. In the future, you're going to be hiring an AI agent that fields all these calls for maybe $7 an hour or whatever. So that's what it's going to be. This is the first steps of it and how we're using it right now in our business. This is how we're fielding tenant inquiries. So if somebody were to fill out a form on a website that they wanted to sell their house, same type of thing we could do. If somebody called in and we missed the call, we could send a text and say, hey, sorry, we missed the call. Maybe they text back. We could send 1,000 text messages at once and set it up so any responses are picked up by AI and conversational AI kicks in. We could do all that stuff. It's just, sometimes human touch really helps. But in regards to property management, how we're using that today, the example I just showed you, I mean, that works fantastic. I spend very little time on property management, and it's very organized, and all that type of stuff. So the last thing I want to show you is going to be VAPI, right? So there's all these companies right now that are doing voice AI. So like if you're a cold caller and so if you're in sales and you're trying to get leads, you typically pull lists and you cold call them with a dialer. So you call them over and over and over and over again until you get a lead, until you get a deal, until you get whatever you're looking for. And now they are coming out with tools where AI will do this for you. So AI will make 1,000 calls in 1 second, and it'll have a conversation with 1,000 people at once, all at the same time, right? So that's the power of these systems. So there's a bunch of different ones that do this. So I can go sign up today to a platform like this where it's basically, as soon as it's got all my company information, whenever a customer calls, it's going to basically field that call based off of the information that I provided. So that workflow thing they just did is like what I was just showing you that we offer. But like I said, there's a bunch of these people. It's just like ours is $97 a month. Okay. I don't think you're gonna get a better value anywhere. I'm not trying to pitch this product either. The reason I started software, the reason I got into software, the reason I licensed CRM and I'm selling a CRM now is because the CRM that we were using was licensing the same software package that I'm now licensing. And we were paying $100 a month for the CRM, and they started charging us like crazy amounts. They our cards got changed, and they tried to jack up the plan like crazy. And they tried to do all these different fees and all this different stuff. They tried to cap our text messages, like all this different stuff. So I just decided to license the software because we use it and I'm going to be using it forever. So I might as well pay for it so that I own it and I can build on top of it. So now we're building on top of the software. And so this is one company that does it. But if you go to app.osmanic.com, that's exactly what I'm showing you here today. Is this right? Is this workflow where you can basically integrate AI, you can integrate automated texting, and this is what we're using right now. So, very powerful stuff, very powerful stuff, and a little bit more about how you set up conversational AI on on the CRM that we provide is you could add, so you could put bot training. I can have a URL that basically trains the bot on the data I wanted to kind of use. Um, Configure intents. I can make it so that it's an appointment booking bot. It's a general question and answer bot, um, all that type of stuff. And then I just drop it into my workflows whenever I need to. So if I wanted to build, so that first one that I showed you where you go and you fill out a contact form, and then once you fill out the contact form, depending on if you're actually qualified or not, it will send the uh, text message saying congratulations you're qualified, or no you're not. That's this automation right here. So trigger form greater than or equal to 600 da, 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 da. So now what I could do to add on to more of this is I could add conversational AI into this, right? So I could completely pull myself out of the equation. I'm 17 minutes late, so I'm gonna go 17 minutes over. um, I don't intend to be late. I'm not gonna miss a day until I tell you I'm gonna miss a day. I don't do that. So where is this freaking AI? Okay, so I could either do the Eliza AI appointment booking. I could do conversational AI. What the hell? What the hell? What the heck? So I can set up conversational AI. I can set up GPT AI. I could do all that now to start fielding these inquiries more. So that is very impressive. Um, if you're an agent, if you're a property manager and you don't know about this stuff, if you literally have any business and you're not utilizing these types of tools, you're going to get replaced by people that are. That's just how things work. That's how capitalism works. So the next thing I want to show you is 11 Labs. 11 Labs is a way to train your voice. So you can't believe anything you see or hear on the internet anymore. It's all everything you see on the internet, you don't know if it's real. You do not know if it's real. And anything you hear on the internet, you have no idea. Video doesn't matter. They used to say like, "Oh, I don't believe it unless I see a video of it." Well, now you can't even you're not going to believe it even if you see a video of it because we don't know what's real and what's fake with the new AI tools that are available right now. So, and if you're not aware of what's going on, you're going to get left behind. Like you gotta kind of like, you gotta get yourself up on this stuff, you know? So 11 Labs is a voiceover AI, and this is actually another way we use AI. I forgot about it. I literally use AI every single day now. So and it hasn't even gotten to the point where it's super good yet. So if we type in Millville Road apartments, a lot of the voiceovers on these videos are generated with this. So you can hear Rebecca talking, right? Rebecca is my AI voice. So I said, I took this video of this unit and I already had my SOP and ChatGPT already knows a lot about me. So I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, this video is 3 minutes long. So make a description of the unit that lasts 3 minutes. So I took the text from ChatGPT, I copied it into 11 Labs, I generated this voice, and then I pasted the voice over this video. It literally took me 10 seconds. And it's pretty impressive. It, it sounds pretty good. Yeah. So that's another way that we're utilizing AI. If I'm sending an email, if somebody like makes me mad, I'm mad, and I go to send an email, I'm going to I'm gonna put it through ChatGPT and say, make this more professional first. You know, if I'm writing a long essay, I wrote a chapter in a book. I was a co-author on real estate investment strategies, real stories by men, I think. And um, once I wrote everything, I put it through ChatGPT, and I'm like, check my spelling, check all my stuff, make sure it's good, and it did. So we're doing voiceovers, we're doing customer service, we're doing rental inquiry fielding. We aren't handling our sell like our sell people that want to sell their house with this because I don't think it's quite there yet. Oh, and I was just starting to get into the AI calling, right? The cold calling. Well, let me pull up 11 Labs again. So this is the text to speech thing. So I could say, um, tell everybody how AI is changing real estate very fast. So I could just and I could go to ChatGPT and be like, hey, write me a prompt for 11 Labs to be able to describe this video and put it over the video. Um, I could go to I could import images of myself and make them better. I've noticed people putting images of themselves that are AI. It's not even them. Uh, and now the calling. This wasn't a good example of the calling app. Air AI. Air AI is like the I think one of the leading calling apps right now. So this is what it's supposed to be like right here. So this is AI converting a lead right now. This is a demo of AI converting a lead. AI is on the phone talking about somebody was in the car and they didn't buy the Apple Vision Pros. I was calling them, why didn't you buy the Apple Vision Pros? And I'm converting this lead right now. It's texting them now. So it's creating actions. The agent is so that demo is crazy impressive. I don't think it's that good yet. Like don't get me wrong. I've never used Air AI. Never used Air AI. But from what I understand, latency is a real problem with AI right now. So I've gotten AI calls. I've tried to set it up. I've looked into it. And every time I get into it, it seems like the latency is crazy. It's very laggy, right? So I might be like, "Hey Jake, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm really good. How about you?" And then 3 seconds pass, and then it responds. And then, like, let's say while it's talking, I try to interrupt it. It doesn't recognize my interruption as fast as a normal human being would, right? So, um, I don't know if it's quite there yet, but it is getting there. It's getting there. Now, what comes down to the question is like, what's the price? Are you actually saving money than if you were to hire a VA in Egypt or in the Philippines? And I don't know what the price is on this, but I do know some other tools, right? So Vappy is the calling tool that I've looked into in setting things up. So Vappy is voice AI for developers or for real estate marketers. So let's see. So I'm just doing I'm gonna have, hey Vappy, I'm actually pretty sad right now. Well, Vappy, I'm looking to sell my house fast for cash, and I can't find anybody that wants to buy it. Yeah, I actually did call a couple house buying companies, but they're not that great. Thank you so much, Vappy. I really appreciate your help and support. Alrighty, guys. So, that's Vappy. I'm yeah. What is your latency, Vappy? What does it look like if I want to cold call with voice AI? Okay, and do I need to know any coding or anything like that? That's extremely impressive. I haven't checked Vappy in a while. It's gotten better than the last time I checked. That is so impressive, guys. Like, if you don't think that's going to change everything, just that's nothing. That's nothing. But I literally just had a conversation with an AI bot about the product that it's offering, and it's a demo at the same time. And it literally just answered all my questions accurately. And I want to buy it. Like, that is wild. So, AI calling is here. The last time I touched it, which was a couple months ago, this stuff is moving so fast, guys. That's the thing. Like, I might make another video next month and be on time and talk about how AI is changing things, because it is changing things so fast. It is evolving so fast. People are dumping so much money into it. I have a couple questions here that I want to quickly go over. So Kyle asked, can you describe repository? So repository is basically like a spot, you're putting all your data, all your information over here, so that anytime the AI has a question, it's pulling from that repository to give the answer. And Kevin said there's so many amazing tools. Yeah, Kevin, it is getting out of control. I mean, that's why I am so on the ball right now about launching this software and building on top of it, because one, nobody's doing it in the real estate space in a way that I like, so might as well be me. And two, a lot of people are overcharging the hell out of everybody. And I think that if you just sell your stuff at cost, there's more things on the back end that you'll benefit from. So that's our current approach. And I believe you're a subscriber for offmarketmentor.com and Osmetic Systems. So you have our CRM. I don't think you've tried it too much yet, but we're going to be doing webinars every Friday. I think you got an invite for that at 6:30, and we'll go deep into setting up those automations. We'll also go into like how we're doing our deals, what we're doing for marketing, what we're doing for like how do we get 10 calls coming in a day, people that want to sell their house? How do we get a deal? Like, how are we able to buy the deals that we buy? How are we able to scale so fast? I'm going to give it all away because why not? So I also plan on like I plan on getting into a higher level of real estate now that SB 1173 is here. So I'm giving everything away. So if you go to osmetic.com, I'm going to plug my website real fast. Oh, wait. It's not even Osmetic. I'm sorry. So if you go to osmetic.com, you can see our portfolio here. You can see some of the different things that we have going on. And this isn't completely complete. But if I go to off market, if I clicked here and go to offmarketmentor.com, it's slow. So if I go to offmarketmentor.com, I'm in here now, and I'm logged in. You can create an account right here, and you can get these free tools. So this is the free Facebook group that we have. Over 30,000 members in our Pennsylvania off-market real estate Facebook group. So you got people posting deals in there literally every day. Literally, if you just went on that group and made sure and just watched it like a hawk, like you would get deals. You would do a couple deals a month for sure. So that's a free group. The people that are in the group run the group. The people that post in the group are the moderators and admins. So it's a group by the people for the people. Literally, it's to do deals and nothing else. So that's a free resource we have. Then we have my YouTube channel, which I'm building that out. It sucks right now. So it's going to be way better. I promise. I'm putting all of my energy and effort into this, and I'm not going to stop until it's successful. So, I'm going to have a great YouTube channel full of educational things. We have some stuff there. I have some videos on how to comp, on how we're doing some of the deals that we're doing, on how I underwrote a seller finance deal recently. We recently did a podcast with Morgan, how he became a millionaire in his 20s. And then there's a link here to the deals that we're currently doing. So I click here, you can see the deals that we currently have going on. So you can see over the last, I don't know, we closed all these deals, and we have all these closing this month. And then these ones are available currently. I think actually Coltmont's closing as well. So that's good. This hasn't been updated, which isn't good. So offmarketmentor.com, there is some more stuff here. So there's going to be like all this research that I'm talking about with AI and like how I think Marcellus Shale is going to be a big driver of Pennsylvania's prosperity. Like it's not just me like pulling things out of the ether and guessing. It's me like reading nonstop and studying this stuff and listening to people smarter than myself. And then so that I remember it, I put together research papers. I put together essays. That's what I do. And so what I'm going to start doing is putting together essays that aren't just for me, but they're for everybody. So when you subscribe to Off Market Mentor, you'll get access to this members only area. And not only will you get all of those essays and the market research stuff that I'm seeing, you're also going to get all the contracts that we use. So right here are all the different contracts we use. So we have all these different contracts that we use, right? These are all going to be on there, all of them, for you to download. And then if you go to Off Market Mentor, there is some additional free tools here. So all the way at the bottom, download this for a calculator, download this for a recent presentation on debt cycles and how they've impacted real estate over the last 100 years. I spent a lot of time on that. So yeah, I mean, that's Off Market Mentor. And this is, so the CRM is provided by Osmetic Systems AI. And you can sign up for $97 per month just for the CRM. You just click this button, check out through Stripe, 7-day free trial. You get an account and you start right away. You get a toll-free number. I think you get $10 free credits that you could try it out, test it, link up your calendar, stuff like that. And then if you wanted to be part of the private webinars every Friday, and if you wanted to be part of this members only access, and just if you want to get unfiltered access to everything in my brain, then $197. It's $100 extra dollars per month to be a member, and the CRM is your membership. So this CRM on my phone here, this is your membership. So you want to get in CRM. So I don't believe in taking a mentorship and paying 10 grand, or I pay 20 grand to be in the mentorship I'm in right now. I pay 20 grand a year right now. I pay. So most real estate mentorships are 5, 10, 20, 50. I've heard 50 grand for like real estate communities and stuff. This is going to be an off-market investment community that I'm going to spend the rest of my life building. I'm 27 years old right now. This is going to be an off-market investment community for people that want to reach generational wealth, that don't want to necessarily follow the conventional path. There's so many things off-market. Even if you're buying on market, it's just off-market strategies. What is the unconventional thing? Because everybody that's doing the same exact thing, they're going to get the same exact results. If it's better, instead of becoming the best fisherman, it's better to find your own lake. So that's what you're going to get with the education is how do you find your own lake, basically. I don't like competing with people. I like being I like having a monopoly, right? I like not competing with people. I like doing things where I don't have to try to sell somebody. I don't have to say, oh, this person isn't a good person. Da, da, da. No, I'm just in my own lake fishing. I don't need to be the best fisherman. So you do get the 7-day free trial with the $197 version as well. So you get the CRM and you get the education and you get the community access where you'll be part of this investment community that is going to grow and going to build. And there's going to be tons of market research in here This might not even be the site that we use 10 years down the road, but for right now, this is the site we're using. And it's going to be big. You're going to get all those contracts. Right now, join Pace Morby Sub 2 school and tell me how much it is. And tell me what you get from it. You get community. That's what you get. And you get maybe a free contract or something. So let me know if this is a better deal or not. But yeah, so I'm kind of going to wrap up the presentation on AI. I showed you how we're using it in our CRM, and I was late today, so I was a little bit off. I'm sorry about that. I looked at a 9-unit this morning, and then I went and I looked at a house in Pittston, and I was just coming back from that house in Pittston, and I realized I was going to be 17 minutes late. But that will not happen again. I'm very sorry about that. I will be here every Thursday, 6:30 until the end of the year. And yeah, hopefully we can learn together. Hopefully we can take advantage of these tools together. Because literally we're the opportunity right now to take advantage of these tools is unlike any opportunity we've ever had. I'm serious. Like, it is big. If you're not taking advantage of this opportunity, you're going to get left behind. So I hope that you got some value out of this. I hope that you start looking into some of these tools so that you can start utilizing them, especially once they get really, really good. Because if you don't, your business is not going to make it, because I'm going to use them. And people like me are going to use them. And people in this community are going to use them. And we're going to beat you. So I hope that you got some value out of this. And the voice AI is amazing. There's so much. I could go on for another hour and a half. I guess I should probably be a little bit more organized next time on how to go through it. So I will do another video on AI, especially once we have more automation set up and I could give you a live example. I'm probably going to start developing the voice AI calling as well. And you will be able to buy that through Off Market Mentor as well if you want to use that. And once we get a few customers, we will hire tech support. We'll have tech support full time. Until then, I am tech support. And yeah, I hope you join me next week. And I hope you join me this tomorrow at 6:30. Have a great day. Is there any other questions or anything? There's a couple people still in here. Oh, actually, Kyle had one. Will it cite its sources automatically, or do you have to prompt it to do so? Yes. So if you're using ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these things, it's going to change too by the time you watch this video, probably. But if you're like using ChatGPT and you're like, can you cite where you got this information from? It will tell you. So, real quick example. Can you cite where you got? So this is, and I spelled it wrong. So this is the ChatGPT that I have built, and it is reading from my repository that I have set up. So I have a repository set up with my standard operation procedure for property management in here. And I asked it at the beginning of this video, if I'm interested in Unit 5, what is the renter criteria policy? And it gave me the renter criteria policy based on my SOP. So now I can API this into my CRM, and I can, if a tenant inquires, I can automatically, shoot this. ChatGPT already knows everything, right? And so then I just ask, can you cite this from my SOP? And it did. Renter criteria policy section. It just cited that. So another example is, what is the nuclear? That's a little bit too complex. What is the speed of light? Can you cite this information? Here we go. So it just provided a citation. So if I'm doing research and I need additional fact checking, like do not take what this thing says with absolute certainty. It's wrong a lot. So you got to fact check this stuff. But I just wanted to show anybody that didn't know about this stuff because it's coming. It's being used in political ads right now, where media is like not like they're having political candidates do things that they didn't do, say things that they didn't say. Already, I'm seeing it on TV, on YouTube, everywhere. It's crazy. So we live in a crazy time, but we also live in one of the best times and one of the times with the most opportunity ever. And I hope you take advantage of it. I'll see you next Thursday.